What's good, y'all? It's your boy Muhammad Sanu. We here live at the Trail Report. You know what I'm saying? My boy C Hill. Y'all better stay tuned. You heard? Big talk.
So Draymond Green on his podcast said that his one gripe with Steve Kerr has been this throughout his career. As much as he's done for me in basketball, a part of me think he's hindered me in my career. What I could have become. When KD came from 2016 on, I have not had a play in our playbook. Not a single play that we run for me in our playbook. This is 2016. But if you're going to take one gripe and not be able to move past it for all the other things, then you're shallow as a person. That says more about you as a person than it does about Steve or whoever else in that instant. You got to take the good with the bad, man. So, Draymond Green said that his one gripe with Steve Kerr throughout his career was that he thinks that in a way, that he's hindered his career as far as him on the offensive perspective. He feels like that since he hasn't had a play in their playbook since KD was there, that in a way he's hindered his career and hindered his offensive ability in a way. And to that point, I would actually agree in a way, but two things can be true at the same time. I think that yes, Draymond has a point that he was hindered as far as offensively, but I also feel like it was the right thing to do. And here's why I say that, because when you get Kevin Durant after the 2016 3-1 deficit, after they lost to LeBron and the Cavs, after that, LeBron and Kyrie and the Cavs. After that, they go get KD. In order for KD to fit in that system, KD is a star. Kevin Durant is a star, superstar player. In order for him to fit into that system, KD cannot be the one taking the back seat. If you want to be real, he can't be the one taking the back seat. He has to be the one kind of in the driver's seat or right next to the driver's seat. More than likely, the driver's seat, especially in the clutch moments. He just has to be that guy because he has that talent. He has that ability to be able to do it. So he can't be the one to take the back seat. And that's what it just boiled down to, in my opinion, with the Warriors when Kevin Durant was there. You go look at the stats. Clay pretty much remained the same. Curry pretty much remained the same. KD was KD. So someone has to take the back seat as far as, okay, their points go down, they shift to doing something else. Now, respectfully to Draymond's point, to be completely honest, all of the big three, I guess you could say, or big four, however you want to put it, all of the big four's numbers took miniature hits once KD was there. That's because it's not enough, as many shots to go around. It's just not. You have KD, you got Curry, you got, it's not enough. You got Clay. It's not enough shots to go around, which is one of the struggles and challenges of doing a super team or a big three or a big four or even a potential big five that they had when they got DeMarcus Cousins. That's one of the risk that you take when you try to build a super team or try to go get a KD or someone like that to kind of add on to your super team. Someone has to take the hit, because I always say this: on paper, super teams sound amazing, right? On paper, super teams sound excellent. They sound like the greatest invention, the greatest discovery since sliced bread. It's like, it's amazing, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna have so much offensive firepower, and no team is gonna be able to defend all four of us or three of us. Nobody's gonna be able to defend us. It's gonna work out so great. Here's the problem that a lot of teams run into. Yes, that can work. Super teams can work. Absolutely. The reason why I feel like a lot of times they don't, and a lot of them fail more than succeed, is because people, and I mean this just in general, not even talking about the Warriors situation, because the Warriors super team actually worked, but in an overall view of it, you have to have someone like a Draymond who is cool with being, no offense to Draymond, because I think he is a pillar in the Golden State Warriors organization. Don't get me wrong, but you have to have someone like a Draymond who is one of your top players. You have to have one of those guys that's willing to say, "Hey, for the betterment of the team, I'm gonna take a back seat. I'm gonna focus on this instead of trying to get my points or trying to do my thing offensively. I'm gonna focus on defense or rebounding or assist or something to where I'm not in the way of the offense or hindering us offensively because I'm trying to get my points and get my stats up. I'm gonna take a back seat and focus on something else while y'all handle the offense." That's what Draymond did, and in that way, yes, he was hindered. I 100% agree with that. He was hindered in that way, but I also say, like, once again, two things can be true. I feel like Draymond wouldn't have worked any other way, because if Draymond doesn't take the back seat and if he doesn't focus on, in my opinion, his best ability, which is playing defense and actually being that defensive anchor for the Warriors and allowing them to actually be competent on defense, if he doesn't take that role, then I hate to say it, Draymond's role on the Warriors is replaceable easily, because at that point, if Draymond isn't playing defense, if he isn't doing the things that he does, in my opinion, the best in his game, which is play defense, if he's not doing that, you have Curry, you have Clay, you have KD. Draymond can be replaced for anyone who's willing to do those things, who's willing to play defense, who's willing to get rebounds, who's willing to just kind of sit back and just let the big three, which in that case would be Clay, KD, and Curry, do their thing. Draymond would be replaceable at that point. And I love Draymond Green, and I don't think the Warriors could have asked for a better person to just be a team player like Draymond Green. I know he's had some controversy with the, stuff he does with the fighting and stuff like that, but I don't think they could have found a better team player like Draymond Green. But if Steve Kerr gets in his head when they get KD there that Draymond isn't going to be the guy to take a back seat, he's actually going to be in the offensive, I'll say, in the offensive pool, as far as also stacking points along with trying to make it kind of like a consistent offensive big four type thing. It's not gonna work. It's not enough shots to go around. It's not gonna work because KD is gonna feel like he's hindered, because at times he has to give up shots. Curry is going to feel like he's hindered because at times he has to give up shots. Clay can't do his thing because at times he has to give up shots. And all of it can be fixed by Draymond, like he did anyway, taking a back seat. But if Steve Kerr tries to also include Draymond in the offensive pool, then they would have probably ended up replacing Draymond Green with someone who I have no clue, because it's going to be tough to find someone who plays defense as tough as he does, who is a pillar, who knows the Warriors system like he does, who's been familiar with that Warriors culture like Draymond has been his whole career. He's only played for the Warriors, so it's going to be tough to find someone who's that, who's that die on the sword for the Warriors. Like, it's going to be tough to find a player like that, but they would have ended up probably replacing him if Kerr puts him in that offensive pool. The best course of action was allowing him to take a back seat. And to Draymond's point, yes, he did take a step back offensively, because I got the stats here, just to give you guys a general idea. Okay, so Draymond Green, the year they first went to the NBA championship, which was in 2015, Draymond had 11 points a game. Okay, the next year, 2016, the 3-1 year, Draymond had 14 points a game. That's his career high. Then the next year after that, KD comes to the Warriors. Okay. 10 points a game after KD is there. Next year after that, 11 points a game. That's with KD still there. So actually, Draymond saw a jump in production in the years that KD were there from the first year to the second year, and ever since 2018, Draymond never after that has been over 10 points a game in his career. But so he is right about that. He did take a hit in his points, his production. I guess you could say he did receive a jump in his numbers, but as far as for the rest of his career, after that, his numbers dropped significantly. But everybody did, though. Let me say, Curry, same thing. I was looking at this earlier. Curry, same thing. The year they first go to the finals, Curry had 23 points a game. The next year after that, Curry had 30 points a game. Okay, now KD gets there in 17. Next year, that year with KD there, Curry has 25 points a game. The year after that, KD's still there. He has 26 points a game. The next year after that, 27 points a game. That's the year they went against Toronto and, Klay tore his ACL and everything. Klay Thompson, same thing. First year that they go to the finals, he had 21 points a game. The second year, the 3-1 year, 22 points a game. Then KD gets there in 2017, 22 points a game. Then after that, 20 points a game. Then 21 points a game. So everyone of the big three stats, if you guys were keeping up, I know the stats are a lot of numbers and stuff like that. But anyway, if you guys were keeping up, every person of the big three, other than KD, I'm going to leave KD out of this situation, but Curry, Klay, and Draymond, both stats fluctuated when KD was there. Some years they received a jump. Some years they went down. It just depends. And that's how super teams normally go. It just depends on how many shots they're getting, how many opportunities they have, and is there room in the offense for you to flourish? In the Warriors system, Draymond, it really wasn't. I hate to say that, but it wasn't. In 2017, he was averaging 10 points a game, but the next year in 2018, he jumped back up to 11 points a game. So he had moments of still being able to be competent offensively, but it's just not – he was never going to get – and I hate to say never, but it is what it is. When you have Curry, Klay, KD, all these players, all of them three players, Curry, Klay, KD, all of them are offensive players. Let's just call a spade a spade. All of them are offensive players. All of them. There is not room for Draymond to get involved as far as being a focal point to where, like Draymond said, they're calling plays for him after that point. He's just not. It's going to hinder the offense if they start calling plays for him, I feel like. Because, once again, they start calling plays for Draymond. Okay, what's going to happen when Curry needs to get his points? And KD needs to get his points. And Klay needs to get his points. Now, the person I feel like that would suffer if Draymond was more involved offensively, the person that would have suffered the most would have been Klay Thompson, because I feel like it would have been much easier to drop his numbers than mess with Curry or KD. So it would have been much easier to just drop Klay's numbers. But even that, you're not home free, because Klay at that point in time, I don't know if you guys remember, Klay Thompson is not what he once was. He still is very talented and a very great NBA player. But we know prime Klay Thompson was a monster. So Klay Thompson is not going to be happy with just him not being able to do him. Like, Klay Thompson at that point of his career was one dribble pull up is cash. Like, if you take away that aspect of the Warriors at that time, who's to say that the Warriors even are as unstoppable as they were? So I feel like two things can be true. Draymond did suffer a little bit, but I feel like in a super team system, and this is just my opinion, I feel like everyone does. I do. I feel like everyone suffers something in a super team. If you can have the three best players in the NBA and put them on the super team, all of them are suffering something in my opinion. All of them. This player hypothetically is averaging 21, 10, and 5. Well, now he's sacrificing his rebounds now. Now he's only averaging 20, 28, and 5 when he was averaging a lot more rebounds last year. This player's averaging 30, 10, and 10. Now he's not averaging that no more. He's averaging a little bit less, but he's sacrificing the fact that he used to average a triple-double. Every player in a super team is sacrificing something. It just are, because you have to account for the other player, the other star like KD, getting their, getting their stuff, getting their stats, because here's the thing, when you get a super team, I feel like that's kind of lost in this. You can't just have a super team and be like, okay, well, I was here before you, but we got you on the team. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing what we were doing. You just find your way to fit in the system. You can do that, but here's why teams a lot of times don't, and you actually have to account for the star that you're going to get to the team. You can do that, yes, but by the midway point of the season, that star is already going to be asking for a trade. Already. You're going to get to the midway point of the season, they're going to be like, yeah, I need to get up out of here because I thought this was going to be like a collective effort, and they told me I got to basically get in where I fit in. Like I'm a superstar too. They need to account for me to be doing something for me to actually succeed here. So it's not, you wouldn't have any successful super teams if it just was get in where you fit in. It would be a very low percentage. And super teams already have a very small chance of working. And when I mean working, I mean actually winning a championship. They already have a very small percentage of working anyway. But for Draymond to kind of feel like that he should have gotten more offensive opportunities, I don't have a problem with that at all. I think he probably could have handled more offensive opportunities and maybe could have maintained that career high 14 points a game. But for the betterment of the Warriors, in my opinion, for Draymond being a 4-time NBA champion, I believe that for that to work out the way it did, he had to sacrifice that. He had to. It was smart, in my opinion, of Steve Kerr to let Draymond kind of take the back seat and just do what Draymond does. Play defense, play hard, be the pillar of the team that you always have been. Be the rock. Curry, Clay, KD, they can handle the offense. Handle the defense, make sure everything is taken care of on the defensive side of things. If we need you to hit an occasional three here and there, knock down a three if you can and get back on defense and do what you do. But you're the defensive player of the year, so look, handle the defensive side. We got 3 all-stars to handle the offensive side. We don't need you to worry about that. I think Steve Kerr did a great job. But to Draymond's point, he was probably hindered a little bit. But like I said, everyone suffers when a super team happens. So I just say, like he said, you just got to take the good with the bad. But everyone suffers when you have a super team, though. But I think Steve Kerr played the Warriors super team system the best way that he possibly could, and I think they got the best results out of it. It's me, Chill, from the Chill Report. If y'all watched the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to come back next time. Before you leave, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Become one of the chillest players in the game. And I'm out. Peace.